You must pay $20,000 before you move into this neighborhood.
Are you fucking kidding me? I paid for this house in full.
As HOA president, I'm recording this. You must comply with the notice.
This is ridiculous. I'm not signing anything under pressure.
You must pay $20,000 before you move into this neighborhood. I actually laughed out loud. Are you kidding me? I bought this house in full. The woman didn't blink, not even a flinch. She stood there on my porch like she personally owned the oxygen around us. Clipboard tucked under her arm, smile stretched thin with entitlement. Failure to comply means eviction, she said calmly. I already warned you. You ignored me. That was my first real look at Karen. Haircut sharp enough to cut glass, blazer too stiff for a human being, eyes scanning my property like she was calculating how much of my life she could confiscate by Friday. The crazy part? 10 minutes earlier, I was still in my honeymoon phase. New house, quiet street, manicured lawns, neighbors smiling like they were secretly rating my net worth through my windows. I had just finished renovations. Deeper pool, extended porch, sharper lines, louder confidence, flashy cars in the driveway, my wife glowing beside me, success parked in plain sight. I didn't know envy fermented that fast. Karen introduced herself as the HOA president, spoke in that slow, condescending tone people use when they think you're rich but stupid. She claimed every new homeowner paid a compliance fee. No receipt, no bylaw, just vibes and threats. Her eyes flicked to my watch, then my car, then my wife. Predator math. Pay today, she said, or things get complicated. I asked for documentation. Her jaw twitched, just for half a second. She gave me a deadline measured in hours, not days, then walked off like she'd already won. I closed the door amused. Karen thought my arrival disturbed the neighborhood. In reality, it threatened her throne, and she had absolutely no idea who she just tried to shake down. Karen came back the same afternoon, this time with reinforcements, a clipboard, printed notices, and a voice sharpened by fake authority. She claimed the HOA board had voted unanimously, said I was already late, said interest was now accumulating aggressively. She spoke slowly, like she was doing me a favor by not humiliating me in front of the neighbors. I almost applauded. I told her calmly that extortion dressed up as governance was still extortion. That was the moment her smile died. She leaned in closer, dropped her voice, and said cooperation made life easy, while resistance made things complicated. Then she listed the complications. Gate access revoked, deliveries delayed, vendors advised not to service my house, community amenities suddenly unavailable. It wasn't policy, it was a threat wrapped in suburban perfume. I laughed, not mockingly, genuinely, and that broke her. What Karen didn't know was that I wasn't a random rich guy. I was a lawyer, not the billboard kind, the quiet kind people call after their lives implode. I had spent years dismantling people exactly like her, using nothing but paper and patience. I warned her once, clearly, that she was crossing lines she didn't understand. She smirked and wrote another notice anyway. After that, the harassment became daily. Letters in my mailbox, fines stacking, red stamps, fake deadlines. One morning, she taped a notice to my door like a scarlet letter. My wife read it out loud over coffee and laughed so hard she snorted. So we stopped responding. Silence is poison to bullies. Karen escalated instead, whispering rumors to neighbors, calling service providers, painting us as uncooperative outsiders. People started watching from behind curtains. Karen mistook stillness for weakness. In reality, I was documenting everything. Timestamps, witnesses, recordings. She was building her own case, and she thought she was winning. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this story, like, share, and subscribe for more real HOA downfall stories. And tell us in the comments, what country or city are you watching from? Exactly 2 weeks after her last smug notice, the universe decided Karen deserved a live audience. My wife and I pulled into the driveway after a routine grocery run, laughing about something stupid when my brain short-circuited. Our front lawn looked like a crime scene mixed with a garage sale. Furniture, electronics, personal items, even unopened boxes, scattered outside like trash. And standing proudly in the middle of it all was Karen, flanked by two men in cheap tactical vests with AOA cops printed in crooked block letters. For a full second, I thought it was a prank. Then I saw my front door. The lock was splintered. Karen announced loudly, so the entire street could hear, that the HOA was repossessing non-compliant assets until outstanding balances were resolved. She spoke like she'd rehearsed this in the mirror. Phones were already out. Neighbors whispering, recording. So was I. The moment she noticed my phone, her smile twitched. My wife stepped forward, controlled but furious, asking under what legal authority they broke into our home. One of the fake cops laughed and told her to step back. She didn't. He shoved her. Hard. She stumbled and hit the curb. That sound, her body hitting concrete, erased every rational thought I had left. I checked her. She was shaken but conscious. That was enough. I stood up and drove my fist straight into the man's throat. He collapsed, choking, shocked that consequences existed. His partner rushed me, bigger, angrier, and slammed me to the ground while Karen screamed for someone to control him like I was an animal. Then the sirens hit. Real ones. Everything froze. The fake cops backed away. Karen disappeared into the crowd. And for the first time since this started, I realized something beautiful. She hadn't just crossed a line. She had destroyed herself in public. I didn't hesitate, not for even a second. Charges were filed immediately, and this time everything moved fast. The police report alone read like a checklist of criminal stupidity. Unlawful entry, felony impersonation of law enforcement, assault, conspiracy, criminal intimidation, property damage. Karen's imaginary authority evaporated the moment real investigators stepped in. The two fake HOA cops cracked first. Turns out fake badges don't mean much under oath. The one who shoved my wife was sentenced to 18 months in county jail for assault and impersonation. His partner got 14 months, only reduced because he handed over the messages proving Karen ordered the entire break-in. Every text, every instruction, every lie, all hers. Then came Karen. No dramatic speeches, no clever excuses, just emails, recordings, witness statements, HOA records, laid out clean and brutal. The judge called it what it was, a calculated abuse of power driven by greed and control. She was convicted on multiple counts, sentenced 3 years and 6 months in state prison. No early release, no magic loophole. Restitution followed like a guillotine. Karen was ordered to pay $186,000 for property damage, stolen items, legal fees, emotional distress, and punitive damages. The HOA itself was fined $75,000 by the state for enabling her. Board members resigned overnight once liens started hitting their homes. The neighborhood changed instantly. My wife healed. The house was restored better than before. Quiet returned. Real quiet, not enforced quiet. Karen lost her position, her reputation, her freedom, all because she thought intimidation beat the law. She learned the hard way that some people don't panic when pushed. They document, they wait, and they end you legally. If this story opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe for more real HOA downfall stories. And tell us in the comments, what country or city are you watching from?